Good morning, all empathic sensitive souls. It's Monday, the start of a beautiful week here in Southwest Wisconsin, and I hope for all of you. How did the mantra go last week? I forgive myself for any mistake, and I move forward with grace. Well, on Friday, I talked about, what is it to forgive? Acknowledge feelings, practice self-compassion, learn from mistakes, release all the resentment, create a mantra, which is what we've been doing, take some action, and seek support. Well, sometimes it's hard to do that. And when you're tossed into a situation that is unfamiliar or uncomfortable, and the situation is over with, and then I have a tendency to reflect back on what just happened, and could I have handled that differently? I had a weird experience on Saturday morning. I have a tire that's going flat, so I knew I picked up a nail or something somewhere on the road. And I would just have to put in a couple pounds of pressure every other day. But I needed it fixed, because at some point that hardware could come dislodged, and then my tire would really go flat. So I took it up to the local big store that we have in the area, and was scheduled for 7 a.m. And at 7 a.m., no one was there. I was a little bit early, which for me, that's amazing because I am never early. Excuse me. And they finally got there. Now, I understand I punched the clock for my job, and I don't like to start any earlier than I have to. But we have a 7-minute leeway from when I can come in to punch the clock. So, like, I start at 7, so at 6:53 I can punch in, and it takes me to 7, but that 7 minutes gives me time to heat up my breakfast, grab my water or my coffee, get to my desk, start the computer up, eat my breakfast, hit the emails. At 7 o'clock I'm working. Now, do I get paid for those 7 minutes? No, but in my mind, if I have to leave a little bit early, or if I have to take a little longer lunch, albeit only 7 minutes, but 7 minutes and 7 minutes and 7 minutes is a good 15 minutes if I do it 3 days in a row. And for me, I have to offset and balance. I have to be even. It's one of those weird mind things my mind does. So I get starting exactly on time, but then you're already behind. Especially if you have to open up the shop, open up the doors, get the open light turned on, get all your gear together before you can start. So then you're late. Now, they gave me 15 minutes to be late, and then they would reschedule. So what happens when they're 15 minutes late? I wanted to ask, but it did not seem like the opportune time to ask. And the gentleman that was at the counter completely ignored my existence while I stood there patiently waiting, looking at him, waiting for him to acknowledge me. Apparently, customer service is not taught, and people don't know how to talk to each other anymore. And it is so sad watching this happen to the younger generations. But after everything was said and done, my tire was fixed. And I paid my bill, which wasn't that expensive. I got my grocery shopping done in the amount of time it took them to do it, so it was like perfect timing. The strange thing is I only had 27 pounds of pressure in my tire. So I had to pull off into a parking lot and use my own air compressor, which I do carry with me for set occasions, and put air in my tire. All in all, the whole experience was strange. Now, could I have said something? Should I have said something? At the moment, I chose not to, because I really needed my car tire fixed, and I needed it done as best as they could do it. Not taking more shortcuts than not filling the air in the tire. but it's done, it's fixed, and we're good. So how do you handle those kind of moments? Am I upset with myself for not saying something? Could I have went to the service desk and complained about these guys? They have a hard time getting help. Would it have made a difference? Would I be deemed then a Karen? I don't know. But at the moment, I had groceries that I needed to get home and into the fridge and the freezer. I just didn't have the time or the energy to take on a battle like that. I had to forgive myself for feeling that way. And then I also had to forgive them. And that's a lot easier to do because as an empath, you can sense, see, and feel into what's going on. I knew the guy was unhappy. It was early morning. He wasn't quite awake yet. Well, to be truthful, neither was I. He's not a very personable person because, one, he was running behind and felt a little guilty that we were all standing in line waiting for him. And I wasn't going to create a scene, and I wasn't going to rant and rave because it would not have accomplished anything. So I had to come to an understanding within myself and accept that it's okay. It is okay. Everything turned out the way it was supposed to, and we were good. But learning to forgive myself and others in the heat of the moment is difficult. But afterwards, it's much easier to do. Now, this week's mantra is I attract positive energy and I am open to abundance. So I try to attract positive energy. I try to be upbeat. I try to be happy. I try to wear a smile. I try to tell a joke, even bad dad jokes, and they usually get a groan, but a giggle. I try to be that which I want to attract, if that makes sense. I try to be upbeat. There are times where I get at work, and who doesn't? But those times are getting fewer and further between. I'm hoping. I'm putting it in my head that we're not going to complain about the situation anymore. We're just going to get on and do the work to the best of our ability. And as long as I know that the boss sees what is going on and what is happening or not happening, then I leave it in his hands to deal with, and I will get on with my day. I attract positive energy, and like attracts like. So if I'm positive, I'm attracting the positive energy to me. I am open to abundance. That's an interesting one because a lot of people assume abundance equals money. But for me, abundance is, I want more happiness. I want the people around me, I want to raise that vibrational level up, and I want others around me to be happy. Sometimes I'll do something dorky and I'll say, oh, can you believe I just did that? I don't know what I was thinking. And it allows others around me to go, oh yeah, I done that too, ha ha ha. And everybody laughs. It allows others to be just as silly or misguided in their thinking that as long as I put a paper in the copier and it grabs it, that it'll automatically do what I think it should do instead of me having to push the button for it to do what it should do. I just automatically think it should know what I want. And then we have to laugh and giggle about that because I'm not the only person that has done that, where you stand there and you look at the copier and it's not doing anything. You're like, what? Yeah, you got to hit the go button, right? So then we laugh and giggle because it happens. And it's almost like by me being silly, it gives others permission to also be silly, and it's okay because then we all giggle together. So abundance may equal money, but for me, abundance is I'm trying to raise that vibe and have more of the happiness come in. and trying to put that out to the universe and create that abundance, create what I want or need or could use, such as a nap when I get home. To me, that's a lot of abundance because it means I'm not working two jobs. I can work one job, come home and take a nap if I need to, and relax and decompress from work. And that creates self-care, and that creates happiness within me. It's something to think about. I attract positive energy, and I open to more abundance. Now, this morning, abundance would be an awesome cinnamon roll. Wouldn't that be great to go with my coffee? An extra cup of coffee on the way to work or at work. I am open to abundance. I create positive energy, and I am open to abundance. I think that's a great mantra. Because when you say, I create positive energy, your mind automatically goes to, ooh, what positive energy do I want to create? Mine is happiness, joy, silliness. And I am open to abundance. Well, what abundance am I open to? Well, more happiness, more joy. I'm open to the abundance of positive experiences. Getting good feedback from my coworkers. Connecting with friends on Facebook during my lunch break and giggling and laughing. Checking in on my family and asking them how it's going. I attract positive energy. When I am more positive, it seems to affect those around me, especially at work, and the positivity level rises up. Well, good morning, how are you? People are surprised. Well, it's morning. Yes, it is. I, for one, am thankful it's morning. It means that I'm alive again. Woo! And people look at you kind of quizzically, but isn't it true? And then they kind of smirk and walk away like, cuckoo. But that's okay, because they smirked. And that little smirk raised their vibration. Just something to think about on this Monday morning. I hope you all have a fantastic start to the week. We're supposed to have gorgeous weather here. I'm hoping it holds. I need to do a little yard work because I didn't yesterday. I was taking a self-care day. It's amazing how many self-care days I can get on a weekend. But after the weird day on Saturday, and then it rained all day, it was kind of a crazy weekend for me. But that's okay. I was raising my vibrational level by listening to a meditation and taking a nap. There's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes we just need the self-care. Have a fantastic week, everyone. I will check in with you on Wednesday. Bye for now.